Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by Sensations. These guys are located in Pocatello, Idaho, or Twin Falls, Idaho, and they are a must-see for your tanning, your day spa, or your salon needs. And speaking from personal experience, they gave me a spray tan right before I went to Mexico, made me look a lot better. I'm not any model by any means, but they made me look a lot better. So if you're listeners to the podcast and you want to get your body in a better state, mentally, physically, these guys are there for you. If you go to the idahobusinesspodcast.com/sensations or just to our website and click on their logo, I'll bring you to their sales, their offer page, and you will get a free cocoon wellness treatment in their bed or a red light therapy session for free. You get to choose between the two if you mention the podcast as you sign up. So there you go, guys. Free stuff. It's going to help you recharge your body. There's so many benefits to these services you can see on our website. So go to Sensations, book your stuff today, and they will treat you right. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I am here with my friend and coach, Tracey Thompson.
Hello, everyone.
She is fantastic, everyone. She probably won't tell you that herself, but she is fantastic. She has helped me dramatically throughout my business. She has grown up on the mean streets of marketing and outside sales. And she's had, between that and also business and mindset coaching, over 30 years of experience. So she knows her stuff. And one thing I found on your Facebook page, I really like one of your quotes that you put on there. It says, only when we discover who we really are and our divine purpose can we live the joyful, authentic life we were meant to live. And I love that, Tracey. So,
amen.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Spencer, for having me. It's a privilege and an honor, and I'm excited to dive in.
Perfect. I like it. Well, maybe to start with, is there a little known fact or fun fact that you'd like to share about yourself?
A fun fact, a little known fact. Let's see. I actually have a really interesting, weird, oddly diverse, eclectic background. Just odd things. I have a fashion design degree. Okay.
Wow.
Because of course, all fashion design degree graduates go into mindset coaching. I mean, that just makes sense. So I'm a portrait artist. I have this whole other side of me that most people don't know.
So every time I walk into the room for one of our meetings, you're thinking, gosh, he does not know how to dress himself.
He needs a makeover.
That's funny. I like it. All right, let's get going here. What's maybe one of your biggest fails or learning experiences you've had in your life?
Biggest fail or learning experience. Oof, man. Let's see, which one? Which one?
Got a lot.
I'm a big fan of failing forward. So, there's plenty of opportunities there. Well, I gotta say, I think my biggest challenge in life was the most unexpected, I suppose. And that is that I have one child, my daughter, Scarlett, who's amazing. When I had my daughter, I don't know that anybody ever goes, this is the perfect time to have children. But for me, it was like a convergence of interesting timing in my life. But that was probably raising her as a single mother, relaunching my career at that time, going through there was a lot of things happening at the same time, but raising her in a conscious way, trying to do that on my own, and then having the challenges she came with at the same time. Boy, that tested me, and it tested me for 18 years. I mean, she turned it around, but that presented, it affected everything else that I did. Because when you're a mother, especially a single mother, it's sort of like the hub of the wheel where all the spokes are connected. And so anything that I worked through with her, or I got to grow as a person, as a woman, as a mother, came through that relationship. And I would say that was probably my truest, biggest challenge. And there were lots of, let's say, failing forward in that. So
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're saying raising girls isn't easy. Being a father of 2 girls. You give me a lot of hope, Tracey.
Well, yes, that's inherent. Well, just be glad you're not their mother, because the mother-daughter relationship, that one's really interesting. That's always very interesting. Ask your wife someday.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing that. Let's transition now into kind of your experience, your collective experience of outdoor sales, marketing, and then even business coaching and mindset coaching. It used to be called consulting, but now everyone calls it mindset coaching.
Right.
Let me share. I guess I can share a quick experience for the audience listening. My quick experience of learning from you and mindset coaches, because growing up, I thought I had limits in my mind. I thought limits like, okay, that's my parents made this much money. I'm going to probably make about that much money. I'm going to be able to accomplish X amount during a day or X amount during my life or a month. Like I had weird limits, and I don't know why I did. And meeting with you and of course other coaches that were fantastic as well, really helped me like push through those and thinking like there are no limits. There are no rules or restrictions that you have to stay by within your life. So that's my experience. Let's follow up on what your experiences are being in this profession, helping people like myself in these ways.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I am eternally fascinated and always learning more and more about human behavior, why we do what we do, why we don't do what we don't do. Like you were referring to self-imposed limitations, but they're learned, they're socialized, we pick them up through our life experience and so forth. But what I love about psychology and human behavior studies, neurology, even, the wiring of our brain, all of it, it's just fascinating. But what I found is that when we realize, what you just said, when we come to the realization that we are only as limited as we, when we're conscious, choose to be, is revolutionary. I mean, like it blasts everything you used to know open, and it brings to question anything and everything you've ever believed. You're like, let's stress test that. Let's test this through the lens of, is it actually true? And what we start to learn is that truth itself, for the most part, is pretty subjective, right? And for some people, that's very disconcerting. It's destabilizing. It feels like, oh no, I need there to be a single truth. I need there to be good, bad, black, white. This is it. There's only one way and that's it, because that makes them feel safe. But for those of us and those of you listening out there, probably chances are pretty good you're either a business owner, you're in a place of influence or leadership. So I'm going to speak to you all as leaders. As leaders, we, leaders of our families, leaders of our business community, whatever it may be, I believe, came here to challenge and question those limits. And when we do, we open up all possibilities. So my most exciting part of my job, I believe, is to help people have that opening up experience, that oh, I can choose something different. I can actually change things that I thought were hard limits before, right? This isn't for me. I'm just not that way. I'm not built for, we hear it all, right? I'm not good with numbers. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. Like people that, right? I'm not good with numbers, or the other, like, hey, I'm really good with numbers, but I'm not creative, or whatever the
Yeah.
story has been. We have opportunities every day to prove our old self wrong, and to achieve things we never thought we could achieve, become who we want to become in ways that we never thought we could. So would you like for me to share an example?
I would love that.
Okay, awesome. So this is a personal one, but I can directly correlate this to several of my clients' experiences because of this. This was an event in my life that helped me see that we're all limitless. 8.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, head and neck cancer. It was already metastasized into the lymph node chain. It was, by all standards, it was serious. And the, oncologists, the doctors were like, hey, listen, you got to get in right now, to brutal radiation, chemo, very aggressive treatment. And I took a pause. I said, wait, hold on. This was that moment for me, that moment where I said, this is the test. This is the test to see, am I going to just toe the party line? Like, do what I'm told, never question, don't even think twice, but like just hand my life and my body and my literally everything over to someone else to make these decisions for me. And I said, no. Essentially, I said, no, I'm going to do this differently. And I took some time and I said, I'm going to heal myself. Like it was so unprecedented I had no background in it. I'd never done anything like that before. Nobody I knew had ever done anything like that before. So I basically told the doctors, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do radiation. I'm not going to do chemo. I'm not going to do those treatments. And I made this radical decision that was so outside of any context I'd ever had before, and I had no idea how I was going to do it. So by a lot of people's standards, that was crazy. Like literally, like
Sure.
they were telling me that they thought that I was losing it,
Sure.
right? And that took me down a completely different path in my life. And so long story short, I healed myself within 6 months, naturally, without chemo, without radiation. And that isn't even necessarily the whole, like, as incredible as that may be and miraculous as it was, the real story was, it was my choice. I chose it. I proved to myself that I didn't have to conform to what everybody else believed was right for me. I could choose a different path. I grew so much as a person because of that. And I believe in the divine realm. I believe that that action, that choice, the series of choices that I made enabled me to now do pretty much whatever I choose to do, if I choose to put my mind to it. Because if I can do that,
Sure.
then who says there's nothing I can't do. So when I'm coaching with a business owner, for example, and they're stuck in these old limited beliefs or stories, I like to help use my story as an example, like, that cracking up is like, listen, and I'm no more special than you or anyone else here listening. Everyone, we all have that ability. We have the ability to go beyond that we are bigger than these challenges. We are bigger than these limitations. All of us have that capability, everyone. And that's so exciting to have clients realize that, where they go, wow, I don't have to do anything. Don't have to do it the way I've been doing it. I don't have to get the same results. I don't have to have the same relationships. I don't have to have the same health, the same body.
Sure.
I mean, like, really limitless.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. A while back, I remember reading a statistic. I don't quote me on this, but I think it was around like 180,000 people every day don't wake up,
Mm.
and so they never have a tomorrow. So what are you going to do, not knowing, are you going to have it tomorrow?
Mhm.
And Brad, I literally listened to something else yesterday from another entrepreneur named Brad Lee. He's in Las Vegas as well. You probably know of him.
I don't actually, but
Oh,
tell me. I love to learn.
He's an influencer as well, but he said, what if I gave you $1 million today? Would you be excited? Of course. But what if there was a condition on that $1 million that you would not wake up tomorrow if I give this to you? Would you take it? No, no one would. So no matter how hard we think our lives are in a certain situation,
Yeah.
Because I have people, oh man, you think you've got it hard. Well, let me tell you what I've got going on,
Right.
but nothing compares to not waking up, not having a tomorrow. And I don't want to bring us to a dark spot, but like, if we bring it all the way down to that, like, you got to realize there's the problems you're going through today are nothing compared to the problems other people have not waking up. And
so what you're saying is there's perspective. So when we give ourselves a perspective that's different, it's almost like that shock to the system. We interrupt the pattern of our complaining and our smallness, and you don't understand. Let me tell you about all the ways I'm limited. Right? I call it arguing for your limitations.
Excuses, yeah.
Arguing for your limitations. It's just that shock and interruption to that pattern can help us wake up, and can help wake up consciously.
Seriously.
Right, and wake up the next day.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's like we kind of have to ask ourselves that proverbial $1 million question every day. Who am I choosing to be? How am I going to show up? How am I going to push myself beyond the limits, the old limits? Because, what's the point of living 80 or 90 years if you're really just living the same year 80 to 90 times?
This is the end of part 1 of a 2-part episode. Tune in next time to hear part 2.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are an institution when it comes to billboard advertising, traditionally or digital billboard advertising. They are represented from Pocatello all the way to Blackfoot, and they will tell you this is a great way, and I will tell you this is a great way to have top of mind awareness for your clients, your potential clients. There are some great things that still can be accomplished from billboards, even though we're in the Facebook and social media marketing, realms of the world right now. So if you contact Rob and you set up a 3-month deal to be on the billboard, he'll give you your installation for free, or your first month for free. Excuse me. And again, you can go to idahobusinesspodcast.com. Click on their logo, their name, and find their information to get that deal rolling for yourself. And they are fantastic at it. So go see them today.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.